In a small bedroom in the Messi family home in Rosario, the morning was still asleep, but Lionel Messi, who was only 11 years old, stood in front of the mirror, holding a tiny needle in his trembling hand. He had to inject himself every single day, so his body could grow, so he could run, jump, and touch his dream. He let out a small cry as the needle pierced his skin. But he pressed his lips together and whispered, "This isn't a needle. It's my ticket to the World Cup." Outside on the street, the neighborhood kids were playing football. One of them asked, "Why isn't Messi coming?" "He's always the first one down," another boy said. "I heard he's got some illness. He won't play again." But at that very moment, Messi appeared from afar, his training clothes soaked in sweat, his face a little pale, but his eyes, they sparkled like stars. He ran onto the pitch and called out, "Don't start without me. The next goal's mine." At Newell's Old Boys Club, his teammates began noticing how quickly he tired, and how he'd hide in the corner when it was time for his injection. But one of them, Moshes, his closest friend on the team, a tall and kind-hearted boy, approached him and said softly, "I know you're suffering, but you're the strongest one here." Messi looked at him, and a small smile appeared on his face. "As long as I can play, I don't care." The club director, a man named Alvaro Fernandez, someone who'd known football for decades and had lived in Rosario his whole life, had tried to help Messi's family. He told Jorge, Messi's father, "We'll cover part of the treatment, but not all of it." Jorge thanked him, but deep in his heart, he knew the problem was bigger than what a small club could afford. The treatment would take years, and it wouldn't end for free. At home, Celia, his mother, was cooking Messi's favorite meal, arroz con palo, rice with chicken, to give him strength. Every time he came in, she'd tell him, "Eat up, my champion, the world will see you." And even Tofu, Messi's imaginary dog, who had been with him through every hard moment, whispered to him as he slept, "You're not just playing football, you Ray, teaching the world that pain can't stop a dream." On a heavily rainy day, after finishing training with the team, Messi stood in the downpour and shouted, "I won't be defeated. Not by a needle, and not by anyone." The wind carried his voice, and it soared above Rosario like a promise to tomorrow. The little lesson: the greatest players aren't the ones who don't hurt, they're the ones who hurt and still run.